I haven't invested in any smart home products yet, so something like an Amazon Echo or a Google Home just didn't make any sense for me to get when they cost over $100. But now that the Amazon Echo Dot and Google Home Mini retail for around $30, it's starting to get to the impulse buying territory, but are they really worth that money? I'm Mitesh, and this is a review of the Google Home Mini. The Google Home Mini comes in 3 colors. The one I chose is coral, but if you want something that's a little bit more understated, you can also go with chalk or charcoal, which are white and black respectively. But in my experience, the coral is actually a really nice color, and because of the fabric talk, it really fits in with home decor. It also has a very nice minimal design in that there's no physical buttons on it aside from this one sliding mute switch, which is towards the back of the device. So when you're looking at it, it just looks like a nice accent piece. The volume on the Mini is controlled by either voice input or by touching the left or right hand side of the top of the device. And that's it for any physical interactions you'll have with the device itself. Everything else is done through voice. So since good voice recognition is really pretty much necessary to use this device, I'm happy to say that Google Home Mini does have some really good voice recognition. It only has 2 microphones versus Amazon Echo's 6, but those 2 microphones works really well at picking up your voice even from far away or even when loud music is playing. They do a surprisingly good job of hearing "OK Google" being said from far away. And while they do have another option of saying "Hey Google" instead, it doesn't work for me quite as well as "OK Google" does, so I've used that one more often, and to be honest, I really wish they would just let you reprogram that, because saying "OK Google," no matter how often I do it these days, it never comes out naturally. I really wish they would let you rename it like Amazon Echo does, so you can either call it Echo, Alexa, or rename it completely, call it computer if you want to, if you're into Star Trek. So I really wish they would let you do it. I feel like it's something that they will allow down the road, but for right now, you're stuck with saying "OK Google," and it never gets natural. But moving on from that, one of the nicer things that Google Home does have enabled is multi-user support. So for families, this is great. So when you ask it about your day or something, it recognizes your voice and tells you from your calendar what you have on your calendar for the day. If you're Wi-Fi or if your sister, brother, mom, dad, whatever, they will get their own calendar. So it's really nice. It's really cool because when I come downstairs in the morning, I just say, "OK Google, good morning," and it tells me about my day. It tells me what appointments I have, how long it's going to take to get to work, and the weather for the day. I like my weather in degrees Fahrenheit. My wife likes it in Celsius, so when she comes down and says the same thing, it'll tell her in degrees Celsius without her having to ask, and it just makes a really nice experience in the morning. Now, as I said in the top of the video, I haven't invested in smart home devices yet. I don't feel like they've really provided enough functionality for me to pay hundreds of dollars for what they are. There is one device I have bought though, and that's a smart thermostat. I have the Ecobee 3 thermostat, and Ecobee just recently announced support for Google Assistant. Previously, they were only supporting Amazon Alexa, but now they support Assistant, and I was thrilled to hear the news, but I did find that the support that they have is kind of lacking. According to them, they can do all the commands, but I have a really hard time getting Google to recognize that I'm trying to tell it to do something with my thermostat. Set my thermostat to away.
Setting Ecobee to away.
Set my thermostat to home.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that.
Now, setting up was really easy, so I think for most people it's still nice to have. You can still set up devices really easy. It's just I'm not sure that people will be able to control them as naturally as you'd want to. But one of the benefits of having it work with Google Assistant over the Amazon Alexa is the fact that I have Assistant on my phone. So if I forget to change the settings to away on my thermostat, I can actually do it from any location. I can just tell Assistant on my phone to do it, and it will respond in the same way as my Google Home would. So that's really convenient, where Alexa is generally tied to the home. There aren't that many devices that can be carried with you. And previously you had to worry about whether your smart device would support Google Assistant or not, but I think at this point, if you buy a known brand of smart device, then it should be able to connect it with Google Assistant. I don't think you have to worry about it anymore. I don't think you get much of an advantage going with Alexa versus going with Google Assistant. It's pretty much a wash when it comes to smart devices. Otherwise, in terms of functionality, this device is very similar to the regular Google Home. The only difference you find between the 2 products is the sound quality due to this being a smaller speaker. The speaker isn't really bad, but it doesn't get very loud. It's very much like a small Bluetooth speaker, so one that's plugged into the wall so you can't move it. But The real issue is the fact that you can't stream this audio out to any other devices through a non-proprietary means. So there's no headphone jack, and then there's no Bluetooth support. So even if you already own some better speakers that you may want to put audio out through, you can't do this unless that speaker supports Chromecast, which most people don't. However, if you are one of the few handfuls of people that does own a Chromecast audio device, then this experience is actually really good. With a Chromecast audio device, you can just tell Google to play whatever through the speaker name, and it will just play it through there. You can even set it as the default speaker, so any audio that comes that you're asking it to play will just automatically play through that speaker. So it's a pretty flawless experience. I happen to have a Vizio Chromecast audio speaker, and it works great. So I never have to tell it to play it through there specifically. It'll just automatically do it because that's my preference. But if you're using this to primarily play music and you already have a decent sound system with an auxiliary jack, you may want to consider the Amazon Echo, which supports all the same services but has a headphone jack out. So that would be about the same price, and it would be a much better experience for you, so you don't have to buy anything new. Finally, in terms of assistants, I think Google has the smartest assistant. It's the one that's going to get closest to answering your questions the first time you ask it. So it has good voice recognition, but it can also has a very big knowledge base. So it can answer questions like how to get gum out of your hair.
On the website aad.org, they say, cover the gum completely with peanut butter or oil using your fingers or an old toothbrush. With peanut butter.
How to make a gin and tonic.
Okay, I've got a recipe called Gin from All Recipes. This recipe serves one and takes about 3 minutes to make. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Great, let's get started.
How
Would you
old
like to
is
prepare-
LeBron James? Anything like that. It has a much more varied base of knowledge than any of the other assistants, including Siri and Alexa. So I trust it to answer most of my questions the first time I ask. Additionally, it can do things like tell you jokes, set timers, and even play games. So overall, I think this device is easily worth the $30. I think it saves me a lot of time in the small things that I do daily, like setting timers when I'm in the kitchen, or playing music by just me asking it to, or playing a podcast when I want to hear something interesting, and just making small parts of my daily routine just a little bit easier. So in that terms, it's definitely worth the $30. And as an added bonus, if you have little kids in the house, I found that kids love this device. They love asking it questions like, how old was the oldest tree, or how big is the biggest animal? And they get so much amusement out of it that it's easily worth $30 for that. So for me, I think this is a great device, and you should pick one up if you want to automate some small part of your life, even if you haven't invested fully in the smart devices category yet. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and be sure to hit that like button if you did, or subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.